Jurors in Donald Trump's criminal trial in New York could begin deliberating as soon as next week. The former US president is accused of falsifying business records to conceal a hush money payment to a porn star. His defence team has now rested its case, with the judge telling jurors the closing arguments will begin on Tuesday. Tyler McBrien is the managing editor at Lawfare and has been closely following these proceedings. He joins us now from New York. Tyler, thank you. Now, the testimony part of the trial is officially over. Trump didn't take the stand despite saying that he would, but that was expected, right?
That's right. As you mentioned, when the defense rested its case officially this morning, it became immediately apparent that Trump would not indeed take the stand in his own defense. Despite his bluster outside of the courtroom, it was widely expected that he would not do so. I think many people thought it would be foolish from a criminal defense point of view. Apparently, either he didn't think it was a good idea or he agreed with the advice of his counsel, but indeed he did not take the stand, and we are through the entire presentation of evidence.
And with defence wrapping up there, it's hammered home to the jury that it's not about whether hush money was paid. That's not a crime. It's about the alleged cover-up.
That's right. And we actually had a very interesting, what's called a charging conference today after lunch, where the defense and the prosecution hashed out their preferred instructions that the judge will issue to the jury. And this exact question came up. The defense wanted specific instructions to that effect, that hush money payments in and of themselves are not illegal. I believe the judge reserved judgment on that, and we'll find out Thursday. But as you mentioned, this is about whether or not that Donald Trump falsified business records with an intent to defraud. That's one of the elements, and also an intent to commit or conceal another crime. And that's the underlying cover-up that you mentioned.
And closing arguments to come on Tuesday. Given the evidence that we've seen, what are we expecting?
Well, hopefully we're expecting to see some of the defense's arguments come together. I think some of the cross-examination, especially led by Todd Blanche, the lead defense attorney, was a bit scattered, a bit hard to follow at times, especially with the cross-examination of the star witness, or one of the most crucial witnesses, Michael Cohen. So we're hoping to get some clarity from the defense. But other than that, I think it's expected that the defense will stay the course with what they set out in the openings. That is that the Stormy Daniels sexual encounter didn't take place, and anyway, the idea that this was in furtherance of influencing the election was false, because this was just normal interfacing with magazine editors, placing favorable news stories, giving scoops. That this was not done through unlawful means, as the underlying statute requires.
Tyler, we don't know how long the jury will take to deliver a verdict, but this trial has kept pace, hasn't it?
It has. I would say maybe ahead of expected. It's been so quick that I think a few people in the press had to postpone vacations, and it's gone at a breakneck speed, much faster than expected. I think that's because the judge has run quite a tight ship. He's maintained control in his courtroom. He's very conscientious of the jury, and I think a lot of the credit goes to him for a very well-run trial.
And Trump's gag order, I mean, it hasn't stopped him on occasions, but it hasn't stopped others ultimately from delivering his lines for him outside the court, has it?
No, and I think I, as well as many people, were looking to see if this would come up this morning, based on a few of Trump's comments yesterday and some of his surrogates' comments as well. But I think the prosecution and the judge are just looking to get through this. The judge has said on occasion that his authority extends to people involved in the case, parties to the case, and not to others. This has come up when Trump's defense team has complained that Michael Cohen is allowed to say whatever he wants, whereas Trump is gagged. But as the judge says, he has authority over parties to the case. Michael Cohen is a witness. He's not on trial here.